Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nothing Excess. I'm here. We're gonna read a little bit about this new balance patch and the new update that are coming for April for Baseball Clash. I'm a little sick. I just didn't want I wanted to get through this because I want to get a little more consistent about uploading stuff. We're gonna start off with the April 2026 Baseball Clash update. As you can see, we have a new character, one of the spies, and the people at the front are Roxy and Max. New season of Top Tier Baseball. We start off with the Harrier season. We're going to get a Wren emoji, which looks pretty cute, at least from here. You know, it is what it is. The new epic outfielder, Henry. Henry memorizes pitch types the first time he faces them. I don't know exactly how they intend to introduce this, but it seems to be that anytime he sees that pitch, he predicts a trajectory with precision, which seems to tell me that anytime that pitch gets like basically played again, it seems to me like those pitches get the way that they describe this seems to be like you get like kind of like the Emily thing where you get to see where they're going. So the thing about Henry is that you don't want to throw balls at him, because if you throw balls at him, you're showing him extra pitches. And he'll be able to get that information. So it might also be that like throwing repeat pitches at him is bad. I don't know how they do this. I don't know if it's like you can only store the previous pitch. We'll see how it looks, but it's another information broker, and information brokers are very powerful in this game. With that said, the next coach call-up is Max. If you have been waiting for a good coach call-up to go in on, this is maybe one of the best ones. Max is extremely good. You will be getting a lot of copies of Max. You can max them out. I don't see why a lot of people wouldn't have max level maxes after this coach call-up. Buying the chests is a good idea here. Coach call-up is the best money to return investment that you can make, pretty much. That's not the Platinum Pass. So, like, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. We also have some balance notes, so we're going to go over those real quick. The balance notes are interesting. First off, it seems like outfielders and infielders are the target here. We're not doing anything about any pitching or anything. Simon players breathing a sigh of relief. Jiro did not get touched. But some characters did get touched, so let's talk about them. They seem to be saying that they're going to nerf... they're nerfing Mark, Chris, and Durant. Durant is interesting because they kind of ruined that character. And everybody else here got some level of buff. Now, people seem to be thinking that Mark was overperforming, stronger than intended. I don't see or understand where they're getting this data from. Obviously, my anecdotal information pales in comparison to their collected information from games that they've watched played, so I have no idea. But it always seemed to me like Mark was severely underpowered, and he was just a decent defender. I've never been worried about Mark at the plate. I must be missing something, but this seems like a strange nerf to me. I never thought that Mark was particularly good, and now his value is on the floor. He's losing 4 to every stat. I don't think like this is like a crazy debuff, but I think that I don't understand the reason for it. Justice hitting range increasing by 8%. Justice is one of the best hitters in the game, but he's unattractive because the way his ability works feels clunky, but it's actually quite a very good ability, and he had some of the best hitting stats. So this buff is interesting. You'll see some more Justices start showing up, especially people who have high-level Justice. If you watch the BCL, you'll know that Justice rakes. So, Roxy got a 20% throwing speed increase, which is like basically the only thing she needed to be actually a pretty good outfielder, because she's currently kind of like not that good. She doesn't do enough. So I think that this will be more than enough to kind of solve that problem. 20% throwing speed's crazy. Like, she was already a pretty strong infielder, you know? But we'll see. Durant got massacred. Durant's throwing speed bonus got killed by 16%, so Durant's throws are weaker, and also he's way more defensive. They killed his power, and they killed his throwing to increase his speed and his fielding. He's a real second baseman now in terms of defense, but the cut to his power seems unnecessary, and I don't think he needed the speed. I think he just needed the fielding increase. I think if they have nerfed his throwing number, increased his fielding, and not touched his throwing speed bonus so much, he would have been fine. But I feel that like they destroyed him. They say is performing especially well as a defensive infielder when turning double plays, but like people who hit the ball to him, basically he fumbles the ball and it runs all over the field. So I don't know who this debuff is for. He did make a lot of right fielders viable by letting you play absolute trash garbage defense in right field. So maybe that's kind of why he's getting hit. I don't know. This is weirdly a nerf for power meta, but it's a roundabout nerf. It makes people who run 3 bad outfielders not get away with it anymore. So in a way, I like this. I know that a lot of people love Durant. Durant is no longer, quote unquote, the best second baseman in the game. King got yet another improvement to his hitting bad balls ability. He used to get a 50%, like the debuff was less than 50%. Now it's 20% less than that. So pretty good. He should be able to hit garbage well. And that should concern a lot of you. Antonio's stolen base success rate and hit distance bonus once he sees steals. So like basically, if he gets a hit, how much bonus he gets to stolen bases being successful, and obviously like how much harder he hits the balls once he's stolen the base, both got better. The second one's less important than the first one. Basically, if Antonio gets on base, he's like extremely annoying to stop, and this just made him more of that. So Antonio definitely got better. King got a little bit better. I still think I don't know, 70% rather than like the really bad penalty that you normally get for hitting balls outside of the zone. King might be a little bit meta right now in terms of like forcing pitches, so we'll see what happens. I think Durant got murdered. Chris got a movement speed increase effect. He makes everyone in your outfield faster, and he lost that. I wonder if this also is to counteract people running 2 power hitters and Chris. I don't know who this is for. I wasn't seeing a lot of Chris's at top level. I don't know who this debuff is for. I don't know who's impacted by this. I know that obviously like there's like Chris Max Giro is like an interesting formula for an outfield that kind of works. I do know like if you see Chris, then like yeah, outfields feel a little more oppressive, but I thought that was something you could still just play around, right? So I don't know who this is for either. Kaya got a raw buff just when her skill activates, get 20% more stats. That's going to be like 4 to 6 stats. I actually don't remember how much she gives. I think it's like 20. I don't know I don't know who this is for. It's cute. I love Kaya. Kaya is one of my favorite players, but she was already, in my opinion, like an S tier batter. I don't know what this is supposed to do, but I'm not complaining about it. Thank you for the buffs. Rin getting a 20% improvement to her skill effect is nice because her skill is so much of a non-starter that I don't think people were doing a whole lot with her. So getting 20% more might make her more interesting, especially given that she blanket covers so many pitches. So we'll see. Andy just goes faster. That's funny. The 315 speed running into home. I like that. I think it's funny. And then I don't know what this change was for Rama. Rama's big problem is that he's doesn't exist when he hits. And so what they did was that they made it worse. So you never get to take advantage of his speed offensively. But instead of giving him speed, you could have given him fielding. He always starts at the wrong place. So I don't understand what this is for. I don't know what they're doing to Rama. I think Rama sucks. I think Rama's bad. Even defensively, he's not particularly great. I don't know what this is supposed to do. I don't know. Some of these changes are interesting, and I like them. I don't know why they changed Mark. I like the Justice change. I love the Roxy change. I admit that I like the Durant change, because it makes Durant more balanced and more thoughtful. I like the King change. I like the Antonio change. I don't know what this Chris change is about. I don't know what the Kaya change is about, but I'm biased. I love Kaya. I like the Rin change a little bit, and I think the Andy change is funny, and I hate the Rama change. They're like, yeah, we buffed him. No, you didn't. You broke his legs. Stop that. Anyway, that's going to be it. That's like the whole video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those cool little things. I don't have a fade out anything. I don't got nothing, okay? We don't got any of those. But yeah, thanks for coming by. I'll have, once they release the new character, I think I'm going to do a video on what I think of him. I'm going to play him. Because I don't normally do those, but people are telling me, yeah, you should do them. They can be fun. We'll open this chest. Woohoo! We got nothing. But yeah, we'll open this chest. But as you can see, like obviously I like Kaya. I've been playing her. I'm hitting pretty okay with her in my 5 slot. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Looking forward to see what these changes bring. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. Look out for the next video once a new character comes out. Bye bye.